Sky Blue Fans TV. For the fans, by the
What
fans.
a goal! That's one of the goals of the season, surely, from young Ricky
Well, good evening. Welcome to Sky Blue Fans TV. I'm Miles Callan. Yes, I'm your host for this evening. Hope everyone is happy. Hope you're all excited for this transfer deadline. We've got someone in the wings keeping an eye on their phone and on social media for us. So anything comes in, we'll be straight on it for you. And hopefully we'll have some details. If anything does happen tonight, you never know. Things can just suddenly happen within the matter of minutes. So let's just see what goes on and see if the Sky Blues can bring anyone in. So what we've got coming up on tonight's show, we have Spot the Ball. We've got Guess the Crest. Also, we have got a little tribute to Carl McFadzine. That will be coming up after we've spoken about Tuesday night's game and our up-and-coming game on Saturday at Norwich. And just a couple of announcements to go through with you. Don't forget, you can still donate to the George and John statue. There is the Sky Blues in the community bank details. You can get some money across to them. £5 is absolutely fine. Get your fivers across, and you can get your monies across there. And also, if you donate £500, then you will get your name on the plinth as well. So please, if you can, let's keep this. Let's keep the statue fund going, and hopefully we can get to the target they want to get to, which is 87,000. It's currently on £18,916. So still a long way to go. But as Joe Elliott said to us, it's a marathon, not a sprint. So hopefully we can get to that and hit the targets there and get the statue in memory of George and John. So let's get our guests on then. We do have, he is the encyclopedia of the Sky Blues and is part of our team here at Sky Blue Fans TV. It is Claudio. Good evening, Claudio.
Good evening, Miles. How you doing?
All good, mate. All good. What do you reckon? Anything coming in, do you reckon? Have you got any sneaky little bits or?
No, I've not heard a thing. Nothing at all.
No, nor me. Definitely not. So we'll just have to wait and see. And we've got our new guest tonight. It's his debut. So please, anyone who's commenting, please be nice and gentle on him if you can, if you don't mind. It is his debut. And we're going to welcome on to our channel tonight, Rich. Is it Rich Cowley? Good evening, Rich.
How are we doing, gents? Okay?
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Fantastic.
Thanks, mate. Thanks for coming on.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having me.
That's all right. How are you? All right? All good?
Yeah, really good. Thank you. Yeah, very good.
Good. And I mean, you watch the channel. It's nice to have you on. I mean, anyone can join us. If anyone wants to come on the show, please do. Please get in touch with us. I'll put the banner up coming across the bottom. Just email us or get in touch with us on Twitter or on Facebook, and we can get you on our show one night. Now, Rich, it is your debut, so tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, obviously, lifelong Cov fan, like everyone else, I hope, to be honest. So, spent my youth probably £4 tickets back in the day, stood on the East Terrace, causing all the havoc as you do when you're of an age. Yeah. Down there, obviously moved to the West Stand when they knocked it down. Yeah, and been going ever since, to be honest.
I mean, what was your first ever game? What was your first memory of your first game?
God, I couldn't tell you. I don't know. It's you have the ones that stand out. Like I remember playing. I think we had Sheffield United in the Littlewoods Cup on a Tuesday night once, and literally getting chased into town by the Sheffield United fans. It's not the first, but obviously it's those the ones you remember.
Yeah. So. And out of the two stands at Highfield Road, did you prefer the East End Terrace, or did you prefer the West End?
It's one of those things, isn't it? When you're 14, 15 and you're full of bravado and testosterone, jumping around and being an idiot's great. But you get a little bit older and you sat down at the West End, it's a little bit more chilled out. So.
And were you lower or upper?
Oh, lower.
Lower.
All the time, yeah.
all the time. Yeah. It was good, wasn't it? There. I mean,
fun,
how
yeah.
do you rate? How do you rate this now? Now that the CBS is becoming our home, and there's no longer the pests being there. How are you rating the CBS now compared with Highfield Road? Obviously, Highfield Road is in the memories, it's in the heart, and everything else. But how do you rate it now up at the CBS?
I love it. Everyone gets doughy-eyed about Highfield Road, and rightly so. The memories we've got of actually watching football there. But even when you went in the West End, I mean, going back to Hillsborough twice in the last 2 or 3 weeks, just reminds you how shitty some of those grounds actually are. They're just concrete jungles. Literally, you walk in the West End, you walk past the queue for the toilets, and you'd be in your seat within 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Whereas the football experience now is just a wonderful thing. And even being at the CBS and seeing all the grounds you go to when you go away, it's night and day as a ground, as the quality of the experience and the football experience itself and the ground itself, above and beyond the rest of the other stadiums.
Yeah. I mean, did you go to Leeds?
Yeah, I went to Leeds, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that were you up or lower there?
We were about 3 rows from the front, lower.
Oh, so you were lower. So you didn't
Yeah.
have the hassle we had getting out. It was one stairwell to get out the stand. It was awful. It was dreadful.
Yeah.
And
Ipswich,
you think
Ipswich upstairs was like, obviously everything's upstairs at Ipswich, aren't they?
Yeah.
That was just bad. There were people falling downstairs there.
Yeah, that was bad. That was definitely bad. And the stewards just stood there doing, you couldn't do anything.
No.
So it was one of them.
No.
But it is nice to go to these old grounds. I mean, going to Hillsborough last week with those old turnstiles and everything, it was a bit of like nostalgia going back in time, weren't it?
It is a little bit, but then I'd say you go looking for the bar and you just find a hole in the wall and go, do you know where the bar is? And they're like, yeah, this is it.
And you can only have Carling.
Yeah, what beer have you got in your fridge that you find in the newsagents?
Carling.
In plastic bottle was brilliant.
We're at the bar, and one of the lads said, "Can I have a lager, please? We've only got Carling." He goes, "Yeah, can I have a lager, please? We've only got Carling." This is going to be a long night.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, listen, Rich, welcome to the channel, mate.
Thank you.
Really appreciate you coming on. Just before we get going and about Tuesday night, let's get a couple of comments coming in here. First of all, Wayne's come on. He says, "Good evening, all. Good evening." Paul Hughes. Good evening, Paul. How's your teeth? He had 2 wisdom teeth out the other day. He was telling me yesterday. Evening, all. No, Godden just not good enough now. Sheaf's injury is a real worry. Yeah, I'd like to know how long it's going to be, that injury, or was it a precaution? Did he do it at Sheffield because he went off at half time? Gow87 comes on, says, "Good evening." Covandy says, "Evening, chaps." Harrison Watts, any singing predictions, signing predictions? Yeah, well, we'll just have to wait and see. We've got someone in. In fact, actually, I'll tell you who we got in the wings. Rich's wife, Sarah, who won the tickets for the other night. There she is. Hello. She's sitting in the wings, keeping an eye on social media for us all. She got Sky News on. She got the darts on. She's checking everything for us. So as soon as something comes in, we'll update you. Evening, Miles, mate. Yeah, can't have any more going on your telly. Robin Fletcher, good evening, everyone. Gow87 says, "Welcome, Rich. Welcome."
Thank you very much.
Ken Otomo says, "You on till 11 to cover transfer day, or have you got commitments?" To be honest with you, Ken Otomo, if I don't go in after this, I won't pack my bag ready to go to Ipswich tomorrow, ready for Norwich on Saturday. Plus, I've just recorded my radio show for Saturday night, so I haven't even been in the house. It's all go. So no, I won't be on till 11 unless Claudio and Rich want us down till 11. That's up to you. Wayne Cummins says Leeds was very dangerous. Hector says PUSB and good evening. Good evening, Hector. Now listen, let's get on to Tuesday night then. We'll come to you first, Claudio. We'll talk about the first 10 minutes of the game. What did you make to the first 10 minutes? Because we've had a little chat about this. What did you make to that?
I just felt we didn't start at all. It was such a slow start, and I think the first 10 minutes carried on for the rest of the 90 minutes. Very, very lackluster. I don't know whether it was the weather. The atmosphere in the stadium felt flat. The performance started flat, and it just kind of went in a straight line. There was no real ups and downs. It was just flat, basically. And I don't know why. It was a real disappointment. You know, I thought we got a good chance to get 3 points against a Bristol City side who hadn't won a league game since Boxing Day, who aren't in a good run of form at all. I know they've got through in the cup and that, and they've just drawn with Forest. But we've drawn too many games at home, and that was another game where we should have taken 3 points from. So I was really disappointed, really.
I mean, Rich, I thought we were sort of walking with the ball in the first 10 minutes of the game. When Bobby Thomas got hold of the ball, Kitchen got hold of the ball, they were stood still with the ball. They weren't doing much, were they?
Yeah, I expected us to really come out the traps back at home, proper pitch to play on rather than the Farmers Field. And I think atmosphere-wise, I don't think it helps having 17 away fans there, because there's no sort of get up and go from the home to outsing them or anything else. And say it did just feel flat from minute one. They're saying that I did think 15, 20 minutes in, I was actually, even when Sheaf had gone off, I was thinking actually they are there for the taking, but we just didn't ever seem to step it up to that next gear, whatever gear we started in.
Yeah, I think we were still in first gear for most of the blooming game. I mean, we got a goal against the run of play, really, didn't we? You know, with Sakamoto, he's had a pop. It's creeped into the far corner. I mean, if it wasn't for that, I think we probably could have gone in. We would have gone in 1-0 down, wouldn't we, at half time? Do you think, Rich?
It's hard to say. Obviously, you never know if you don't score that they're suddenly going to get the goal that they did. I mean, obviously things work out differently. So I think 0-0 at half time wouldn't have been an unfair score, but yeah, we just never kicked on at all, did we?
No. And Claudio, people are saying, you know, people were saying on the radio, I was listening to on the way back, and they were saying that we were worse when Sheaf went off, but like we've just said, the first 10 minutes when Sheaf was there, it still didn't click. So how would you have approached that, do you think, bringing, you know, with Sheaf going off?
I'd have brought Torp on. I mean, I thought he would have done. I was really surprised when Latty came on, and Latty spent most of the game playing as another central defender. It was a really weird situation. At one point, I said to Luke, I went, "What's going on here?" I says, "Latty's further behind than our two centre halves." He naturally dropped into a back three, I thought, which is what his role wasn't. You know, and it didn't help because we needed somebody to drive forward. Our problem is at times we're playing it safe on Tuesday. Not many players were on the half turn to go forward. As soon as you got the ball, we just looked to go back again. You know, even if you gained 10 yards, we wanted to go back again. And you kind of think, come on, go forward. You know, look, you know, be positive. And even our gaffer said it in his chat afterwards that we're being too negative. We weren't getting forward enough. And I think Torp should have come on, basically. I think he could have risked him against Bristol City. It'd been a more positive move. And I thought he looked good again when he came on, actually.
Yeah, I mean, Rich, that first half, I mean, they got an equaliser back, but they probably deserved that equaliser, didn't they? Because they had more chances than we did, didn't they, in that first half?
Yeah, on the run of play, definitely. I think we only had probably 4 shots on target the entire game, so it certainly wasn't a pretty. Going back to what Claudio said, we said exactly the same thing, that Latibodio was picking it up so deep. And when you've only got one midfielder in front of you, if he's not your option, your only other option is to go sideways. So it's not a case of being positive and driving on, because he is dropping so deep. There's no outball. They're crowding out Eccles, and there's nothing left.
Yeah, and I totally agree. Now Wayne's come in. He's gone. We weren't in it and could have lost it, so we will take a point. Now he says we'll take a point. Now if we go to Norwich on Saturday and pick up 3 points, we'll be going. That was a good point Tuesday night, because we want to win at home, draw away. So if we get the 3 points on Saturday, it will turn out to be a good point, won't it, Claudio?
Well, it will do, but we know we need to get more points at home. Like I said earlier, we've drawn a lot of matches at home now. I think it's 8 so far. I know I've only lost the 1, which is fantastic, in a game where really we shouldn't have lost against the Albion. That's great, but we just need to win more. I mean, most games. I mean, because I took the lad who stays here at our house a couple of nights a week, and he's turned into a Coventry City fan. It's quite funny, and so, but he's fairly neutral still. And he just said it was a weird game. He says, from what I'd seen already, he says it was like a real struggle. And I thought, well, it was. But in fact, to be honest, we've not had too many easy matches anyway. I always feel we have to work at it. We're not like, I mean, dare I say it, Leicester in some games have blown teams away. And I know they didn't blow us away, but them and Leeds and Southampton, when they're on the game, they just take teams apart. We really have to work at beating teams. And I know we've had some good results where we've won by 3 goals away from home about 4 times this season. But even in those games, we've had to work at it. It's not easy for us. And I think when you don't get the rub of the green like it did on Tuesday, and we started slowly, it was a struggle. And unfortunately, we did get the point in the end.
I mean, Claudio's just said there, Rich, that we sort of have to really fight to get the win. Do you think that's down to because our strikers aren't firing, because we are relying on goals from elsewhere?
I don't really know. It's hard to say why we're not picking teams apart. I think we need to be cautious about how good we actually think we are. Yes, we're 12 unbeaten or whatever it is now, and yes, we're doing great at home. But as Claudio said, 8 draws. We aren't putting teams away as we should be. Now, obviously, we can talk to the cows come home about the whole striking situation. We probably will. Great, I love that. I just felt like I almost felt like I went into Tuesday thinking this. I said to Ken when I saw him outside, we'll be 3-0 tonight. It'll be no trouble. And I kind of felt the players, I thought they would have started like that, but it's almost like they didn't, or whether they're overconfident. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it never came across at all that's how they felt. No, I almost feel like we got stuck in a bit of a rut for the performances we put in at Sheffield, because we didn't play great in either game. And I felt like we just took exactly the same performance, a little bit lackluster.
Yeah. Yeah. Now we'll come on to some comments in it, because there's some great comments coming in, and we'll discuss them. And it's all about Tuesday as well. But let's do Spot the Ball, because we haven't put it up yet. Because we were introducing yourself there, Rich. Here you go. Have a guess. Where's the ball? This is from Tuesday night. Have a little guess where you think the ball is, and you can win a prize tonight. So if you get your guesses in, have a little go. Claudio's going to take the names down. So have a go, Rich. Where do you think the ball is?
Sadly, I think it's 13.
13. Okay. Do you want your good lady to have a go?
15.
She's saying 15.
15. Okie dokie. And Claudio?
14.
14. Wow. Okay. That's a good mixture there. Happy with that. Excellent stuff. So if you want to have a little go, get your guesses in, guys, on the old comments. Have a little go there. And a little bit later on, we've got Guess the Crest coming up as well for you a little bit later on. Right, let's get some comments coming in. Ralph Wiggins says, good evening. I think it must have been the cold. We just didn't perform, and Sheaf getting injured didn't help. Yeah, it was it. I left work and it was quite mild. And then we got to the ground. We got there quite early. I think we were there at 4:45 because, I took my boss and we had a little walk down to the club shop. And as we were coming out the club shop, the temperature had dropped. Do you think that could have made a play on the game at all, Rich?
I don't think so. I don't think so. We've had some pretty chilly games this season, so I don't really think it makes an awful lot of difference, to be honest.
Yeah. And Claudio, I mean, it was nippy, but I don't think it made a difference to you.
If it would affect anybody, it'd be the subs who have to come in and from being cold straight into that, and you expect miracles, don't you, from your subs sometimes? But no, I think it was just flat all around. The atmosphere was flat as well.
Yeah, the atmosphere.
It wasn't great at all.
No, it was weird. It was weird. Yeah. Paul Cuttyford, come on, keep the faith, Miles, but Sims is slow and lazy. I do keep the faith, Paul. I do, because I'm going to Norwich on Saturday. We're going to win. I know we are, but I know we're going to do it. So, we do keep the faith. Honest, mate, we do. I'm just a bit tired, to be honest with you. I'm shattered today. But yeah, Sims a bit slow and lazy. Rich, let's get your view on Sims.
I like him, and if he's our future, then he's got to have a run of games. You can't play Godden 1 week, him the next. Keep chopping and changing. We all know what Matty Godden can do, and any defence that wants to just sit quite high up, they're going to be fine. He's not going to outwin anybody. You've got to go and mix it up, and if Sim's your future, got to play him.
Yeah, definitely. Claudio, I mean, do you think Robbins and AD and Dennis can sort him out like they did Big Vic?
I think so. And Rich is right. I mean, he's the future. They've signed him for 4 years. Godden's going at the end of this season, I think. Is that right? Has he got another year? But yeah,
he might be going tonight.
I think he's got the option of another year if he wants it, apparently.
Yeah.
Right. I just feel he needs a run of games. You got to coming off the bench for 15 minutes isn't going to improve it, is it really? And
no.
And there's some games where also when he has started, he takes him off with the last 20 minutes to go, and that's probably when the times are you're going to score a goal when defenders are getting tired. I think you just got to keep him on because there's been plenty of games. Was it the start of the season where Matty Godden played every minute of every game for the first 9 matches or something? He was the only one not coming off. So I think. Yeah, he's not brilliant. We know that. We can see that. But he's not really had a proper run. Yeah, I don't think.
No, it's fair to give him any grief for everyone saying who's not scoring.
Yeah, and also we do lack up front. I mean, I know Tavares has got pace, but we need that pacey striker. We need somebody who's really going to trouble defenders because I feel at the minute defenses know they can hold our forwards. It's our midfield they can't cope with. So I think we're relying heavily on our midfielders to perform each week.
I think what Sims gives you, though, he gives you something different rather than whatever the style of play we have with Godden, because he will go out wide, he will run a channel, he will drag a defender down. You can see from Torp's goal against Sheff Wednesday, we were right behind it, and Sims just darts off to the left, drags the defender out, and there's just a massive gap. And that's what you want. You know that you've got to be aware of Sims if he's going, that the ball might come to him. With Godden, you're just like, well, I'm not as bothered because I'm not going to get outrun by him or outmuscled by him.
Where Sims is a lot more physical. I mean, you've seen it against Leicester. You know, Godden was really struggling against their back line. As soon as they brought Sims on, we went and scored, and they were worried about him because of his height and his physicality.
Yeah.
So we hope that Robbins and everyone is working on him the way they worked on Victor. I know he's not going to be like Victor, but they could. I think there's something there, but fans have only got so much patience. But it's like I said to you, Claudio, that goal in the second half, he was onto that like a flash. Which is what a striker does. That is what a striker's meant to do. He was on it like a flash, and we got that equaliser. And he was straight on it, weren't he?
I mean, he was on his toes, which is what you wanted. He could have easily been flat-footed and not moved. And I'd be interested to know who was he doing the signalling to, because I think it was some people behind the dugout were giving him some grief. I think, and he did this to him. Yeah. I find it odd, really, that there are players. Why would you want to give grief to our own players when you can just give it to the opposition players?
Yeah.
Simple as that. If they're on the pitch and they've got a sky blue shirt on, we get behind them.
Yeah.
We're a funny bunch of. We're probably no different to any other fan base, but it's not like we're second bottom, are we?
No.
So
I've had. Yeah, go on.
So these players can't be that bad, can they?
No. I mean, I've had one rant. I've had one rant this season. That was for Ari, who's no longer with us. So I think
that was justified.
That was my rant. So So I mean, we all do have a rant about players. Rob Nichols has come in. He says, I don't think changing the formation for the cup game did them any favours in the Bristol game. Yeah, because we went 3 at the back, didn't we, Rich, for the cup game?
Yeah, we were stood before the game thinking, okay, he's still playing the 4, and then they came out and we were like, what's this? This hasn't worked. It didn't work. We went to Preston, sorted it all out, and all of a sudden, what's going on? I kind of get maybe we were trying to pull one over on them because they were expecting us to play a 4, and you could have easily played a 4 with the team he did. So, but obviously, I don't think backfired is the right word. We just didn't turn up on the Spud pitch again, did we? So.
Yeah, just didn't. I think he was trying to just nick that game 1-0 and get us through and
get away as soon as you can.
Yeah, and then you get into the Bristol game then. But it's there's a lot going on in the next 2 weeks. It's going to be absolutely mental. Ella's come on, says go Rich. They are. You got a supporter there. Wayne Vaughan says agree with Claudio. He was in the back line more than midfielders. That's about Latibodier. Catty Cads come on, says Bristol just knocked West Ham out the cup, so no pushovers. That's a great point earned, and think we got away with it on Tuesday. Yeah, I think Mark Robbins agreed that. I think he even said that he thinks we got away with one there. We got away with a point.
I think a couple of seasons ago we'd have lost that 2-1.
Yeah.
I don't think we'd have got back into it.
No. I mean, I was in the car after and said to my boss and I said to Will, I says, how often is it we come out of the ground and we say, how have we come away with a point there? Because, Rich, it did feel like that was a point gained with that performance.
See, I did say before that I'm quite negative about it. I didn't actually feel like that, to be honest. Yes, no? I didn't feel like we were firing, but I also didn't feel like they had enough or they were dominant enough to have turned us over on the night. I think 2-2 is a fair result. I'd love for us to stop having 2s in the goals against column, to be honest. I'd love to see some 0s for a while because it's been a while since we've had any clean sheets. So, but watching the goals again, obviously, neither of them were great defensively, were they? So just sharpen these bits up and hopefully put Bristol City behind us and we can turn it around on Saturday.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about Norwich soon because their manager's definitely given the team talk for our team today. So, and we'll get onto that comment later on because I'm sorry, mate, but he's had a bloody mare. He really has, and hopefully our Norwich fan will be on. And yeah, he's definitely had a mare. Robin Fletcher, we need to get the ball up the pitch quicker. That's why we need a rapid striker. Give Tavares a chance. Would you give Tavares a chance, Rich?
Don't get me wrong. If we had Matty Godden with Tavares' pace, I'd be happy as a pig. But obviously, they haven't seen enough from him in training to figure that he's going to be the difference maker. That he's finishing and his positioning and the runs he might do are up to scratch. Otherwise, he'd be getting on a sub or be getting a start maybe. So there's clearly not enough there for him. But obviously, we're in a squad situation now where you almost can't afford to let him go in case you lose one of them to injury.
Yeah. What about yourself, Claudio?
I wouldn't mind seeing him start instead of Matty Godden.
Yeah.
Got nothing to lose at the minute. We're in a good position in the table. It's, I can't see it's going to do any harm, to be honest. And what's the worst that's going to happen? It would just take him off, wouldn't it, if he's not doing it?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's. he could be, in some ways, he could be the answer because just because of his pace, there'll be a bit of confusion up top, won't there? I think. And he's lively. I mean, I liked him when he come on before, but obviously he's a bit rusty because he hasn't played many minutes. But then again, he's not even in the. He's not playing under 23s either, is he?
No, he hasn't played anywhere.
Yeah, so that's what's strange. You think if you want to get minutes under him, you'd do that, wouldn't you? But he hasn't done anything, has he? So, I wouldn't mind seeing him play.
Yeah. See, I don't think Sims is as slow as everyone makes out. I think sometimes he looks possibly a little bit cumbersome, and his first yard or two may not be all that, but he outruns a lot of defenders.
Yeah,
he does, and he makes some really good runs, and he doesn't hang around. So, he may not look the quickest, but he does shift.
I think Rick, his problem is his close control's got to improve. That's what he's got to improve on.
But that's just minutes, isn't that's just football in minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not doing it in training is one thing, but actually doing it in a game and going, do you know what? I've got 6 games under my belt. I feel really comfortable. It's night and day to what he's getting now.
Yeah, I mean,
you got you've only got to look at what he did with Haji Wright. He started playing Haji Wright in a number of games, and Haji Wright was starting to bang the ball in the back of the net. Although they were close range and stuff like that. But who was it? He banged that one in from the tight angle at home. Who was that against? Oh, blimey! Haji Wright banged it in, and it was a great finish. He didn't think about it. He just hit it. I can't remember who it was against now. Blimey,
I can't remember.
My head's gone blank. My head's gone blank. Right, Keno Tomo's coming. He says, "Spot the ball is on the little holder past the floor advert." No, it's not this week. So there you go. You see, Rich. You see, I normally have them, and I spot them around the pitch.
I saw it.
Yeah. So some people always think I'm going to do that. Hector says Sims will come good. Yeah, look, he's got to, and I'm sure we got the right people to sort him out. And as you say, Rich, he just needs game time. Right, listen, we're going to go to a quick ad break, and hopefully our Norwich fan will turn up very shortly. Vic is going to be joining us as well, and we'll talk about a little bit about fads later on, and got a few photos and that, and we'll go through all that with you. So let's just take a quick ad break, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Sky Blue Fans TV. For the fans, by the fans.
Yeah, welcome back to Sky Blue Fans TV, second half of the show. We have got our regular Claudio, the encyclopedia of Coventry City, alongside Jim Brown, who's, I think he's mentoring Claudio at the moment. We got Rich Crawley, who's come on. He is here. It's his first show. How are you finding it, mate?
Yeah, enjoying it. Talking about football. What's not to like?
Brilliant. Any transfer news yet next to you? Any transfer news? Nothing. Oh. All right, excellent. Now listen, we've got Victoria. Good evening, Victoria.
Hi, Miles. You all right?
Oh, good, thank you. What did you have for dinner tonight then?
Just something quick: fish fingers and chips.
Oh, lovely. I had a stew. I made a stew. I put it in last night. It's been cooking all day.
The football, yeah, nice.
Oh, nice, very nice. Now listen, Victoria, you've just joined us. Spot the ball. Are you ready?
Okay, get fire away.
Here we go. Where do you think it is, Vic?
What was that? 24.
24. Okie doke. Right. Now, we got another part of the show we do, Rich, and we'll get you on here. Now, we're waiting for our Norwich fan. Fingers crossed he's going to turn up. Now, we do Guess the Crest. Now, if anyone's playing along, I don't want you to tell us who the Crests are who are going to comment. Just tell us how many you think you've got right. Okay? So just tell us how many you think you got right. This week is easy. If you don't get this, if you haven't got all three of these, there's something completely wrong because these are easy. Are you ready?
No pressure.
Right. Here we go. Right. Come on. This is easy. This is really easy. So anyone who's commenting, just tell us how many you think you've got right. We don't want you to tell us the answers. Just tell us how many you think you got right. And we will, we'll go there. We'll let you know who they are very soon. So how many do you think you got right? Let's come to you first, Claudio.
I think I've got 3.
3. Okay. Claudio thinks he's got 3. Victoria?
Oh, it's the middle one. I can't think where I've seen the middle one before. So I've got 2, and I don't know. The middle one's stumping me at the
2.
minute.
Oh, okay, 2. Rich?
Massive failure. I'm going for 1.
Oh, what?
Oh no.
Okay, 1. And what about your partner, Sarah?
She'll be rubbish at this. She's got face blindness type thing, so I'm sure she can no good at football crests either.
Okay, right. Let's see if anyone's got any. Gower 87 says he's got 3. Okay, so yeah, there you go. Oh no, Noah said that goal for Hadji Wright was against Swansea. Thank you very much, Noah. I couldn't remember which game it was, so thanks for that, mate. Really appreciate that. So yeah, guess the Crest. How many do you think you've got right? So I've made a note of those. We'll come to those a bit later on and give you the answers. Let's get some more comments in, because the comments are flying in here tonight. I've just got to go back up the page. Here we go. Wayne Vaughan says, I think Godden is at the point where he will be good off the bench. Victoria, Matty Godden, what do you reckon to that comment?
I think that's right. I think as well, it depends how we're playing. If we're playing O'Hare, Sakamoto and Palmer, Golden in front of that doesn't work. It needs to be someone that can hold up the ball. So it doesn't suit him anymore. We're not playing in a way that suits him. But if he comes on towards the end, that I think so. I agree with Wayne.
Yeah. Okay. Lovely. Just to remind you all, we've got Gary Thompson coming this Sunday. He's coming on the show. Please join in at 7:30. Claudio will be doing the interview. So please join us. It's going to be a great chat. It's going to be absolutely fantastic, that is. So get involved. Let's get some more comments then. We'll come to you. Claudio, we'll come to you on this one. Definitely Sims keeps improving, and Hadji Wright is fast and also improving. Out of those 2, who would you prefer on the pitch, Claudio?
Hadji Wright.
Yeah.
Currently. I mean, I'd try Hadji Wright down the middle. I mean, let's face it, we signed him as an out-and-out striker. In fact, both of them were signed as strikers, not to be playing out wide. So I was under the impression we signed them to play together up front. That was my thoughts. So, I mean, the only thing I'd say Hadji Wright's got to watch is he does give away some unnecessary fouls where he don't know what he does. He gets completely the wrong side of the bloke and he sort of bring them down. And a lot of the time it's in our half of the pitch, which isn't good, you know. But no, I think play him down the middle. I mean, why not play him down the middle on Saturday?
Yeah, and but I find Hadji Wright's offside quite a bit as well.
But well, yeah, we can't do much about that, can we?
No, definitely not. Rich, now you like Sims. Hector's come in. He believes that we need to use him as a target man.
Yes and no. It obviously all depends on what you're playing up against as well, because I say he's still very good at dragging out defenders, and you've got to be wary of what he can give you, which obviously gives you lots of room in behind and the space that he creates.
Yeah. I mean, Hector agree. I think he touched on what you said earlier about him at Sheffield Wednesday in the Cup. In the modern game, it's all about creating chances across the pitch. Sims draws players to him and leaves gaps for others, which is what you pointed out earlier on with Victor's goal. We'll come on to Victor with you, Vicky. Torp is looking promising.
Yeah, he looked good, didn't he? I thought I was impressed with what I saw on Tuesday night. You can tell he's obviously still settling in, still getting up to speed and all that type of stuff. But there definitely was some promise there. That looks like a good signing. So yeah. And it always helps if they settle quickly, because then you don't get this trouble with that Sims is obviously facing, where people are getting on his back and stuff. So
he just. I mean, at Sheffield Wednesday in the Cup game, Claudio and Rich, he he really settled into that game. The first 5-10 minutes, he was a bit off the pace. He couldn't get back there was an attack that Sheffield Wednesday did. But after about 10-15 minutes, Claudio, you can see he's settled in very quick, hasn't he?
I think so. He looks a really good player. And the other night, I thought his passing was excellent when he came on. And he looks to go forward a lot of the time, which is what you want from an attacking midfielder. You don't want him to keep turning around and facing their own goal. And as we know, he can hit a ball as well. And his delivery from corners and set pieces is pretty good as well. So it's, he's somebody, him and Sheaf, let's hope Sheaf's not out for too long. Him and Sheaf together would be good in midfield for us. By the way, Sheaf has won the second most amount of tackles in the Championship this season as a midfielder. Wow. That's how important he is to us.
Yeah.
He wins a lot of borders, Ben Sheaf. He'll be missed the next 3 or 4 weeks, definitely. Yeah.
Well, if he is out. Now, Rich, he might not even be out. He might have just been a precautionary move.
From what I've heard, I heard it pop type hamstring. So,
okay.
It doesn't sound like it's one of those he might be out as a precaution. I think Sheffield Wednesday was possibly, I felt something will take him off. Nothing's happened during training. He's come on, obviously 10 minutes later, pop, it's done. So,
yeah, and I mean, hamstring like that's probably 6 to 8 weeks, isn't it?
It all depends on obviously what grade it is, isn't it? It can be 6 months, it can be 3 weeks. We just don't know. And the club are never very forthcoming on he'll be out for X amount of time, are they? So,
yeah. Yeah. Now listen, our Norwich fans waiting in the wings. I just want to bring this comment up because Scott Blankley is here. He says, "Good evening, all." He says, "I can honestly say I think all fans are never happy with players or managers, etc. at some point." Vic, what do you make to that one?
Well, it's true. You see it on the forums, don't you? There's always a debate going on about something. It's just life, isn't it?
Yeah. Definitely. and Rich?
Yeah, obviously it's joys of football, isn't it? I say you've only got to see what Sims is doing after he scores to the fans who sit behind the players. So when you have to tell them to pipe down, it's a poor state of affairs.
And that's your own fans as well, Claudio. Correct, I mean, Claudio, we do giggle about it sometimes, don't we?
Yeah, well, I think me and my lad take it in turns. One game he'll be doing the moaning, and the following week I'll be doing the moaning. But it's just something sometimes just winds you up, doesn't it? And it gets to you, and you can't keep thinking about it, and it just winds you up, And and it could be one player one week, and for some reason you start to look at it and pick on that one player, and really he's probably not doing that badly. It's
No, exactly. Now, listen, we've got Adam waiting in the wings from Pink and Norwich podcast. We're going to get him on, so let's introduce Adam. Here he comes. Good evening, Adam. How are you?
Yeah, really well. Thank you, guys. I've been recording a few podcasts as well this evening, so slightly ran over.
Oh, that's fine. No problem. Thank you for joining us. It's a pleasure having you on because we had you on last time as well, I think, didn't we?
Yeah, I've been on it a few times before, I believe, yeah.
Yeah, and how's it all going? How did this love of Norwich come about and the Pink Un?
So I've been a Norwich fan all my life. Lots of ups, downs. Bit of a roller coaster being a Norwich fan. Sort of sometimes in the Premier League, then we drop back out. This typical yo-yo club, the sort of bracketed by many other opposition fans. And then I've transitioned. Went through sports journalism as a degree at university, and I now cover Norwich every week for the Pink Un, which is Norwich Evening News and Eastern Daily Press down here in Norwich. So get to be in the press box covering Norwich home and away every week, which is fun sometimes. It's not been overly great, I'd say, since I joined. I've had to endure Dean Smith's football and then David Wagner, which hasn't quite worked out the way that we'd all have hoped to this point. So, yeah, lots of highs, lots of lows. But yeah, I wouldn't change supporting Norwich for any other club.
No, I mean, same as us, isn't it, really? It's, we do it for the love of it, and it's like, that's how it is. The ups and downs, the highs and the lows. It's just brilliant, isn't it? I mean, it's no good for the heart, but it is good, though, isn't it, when you have your highs? I mean, the lows aren't so good, but there you go. Now, listen, I've pulled something up here, right? Now, we don't need a team talk on Saturday, mate. Your manager's just done our team talk. I mean, he's put here, maybe for one another, they are not the most sexiest club or biggest name in this division, but in terms of individuals, they are a top team. David Wagner. Now, I mean, we're not the sexiest of clubs, and we're not the biggest name in the division. I mean, you can't be saying things like that out in the public, can you?
No,
Hey?
I was at his press conference this afternoon. Yeah, I put that tweet out, and it was one of them I kind of knew was going to upset a few Coventry fans up in the Midlands tonight. Yeah, not the wisest thing to come out with, if I'm being honest. And it's one of them that you just know come sort of 5 o'clock on Saturday night is going to backfire badly on us. So yeah, it's not an ideal situation to be in. It's not typical of David Wagner, that, to be honest. Sometimes I think these things can get lost a little bit in translation. Obviously, he's not a natural British manager. Of course, he's got kind of the sort of has to adapt to his English. So sometimes it doesn't necessarily come out the way that people want it to come out. But yeah, it's not ideal. And I'll be honest with you, I think a few Norwich fans are probably kicking him for that one as well.
Now, just before we carry on, Danny Draw is just coming. Danny, we were talking about fads after Adam's we've finished talking with Adam about Norwich, mate. So we'll talk about fads a little bit later on because he's just asked us about fads. Now, but you started to pick up a few points now, haven't you? The last couple of games. I mean, things are starting to click a little bit for you.
Yeah, I'd say it's sort of, well, since early December, it felt like it was crunch time for David Wagner and whether he was going to continue as Norwich City manager. And as you sometimes get with managers when they're under pressure, they kind of adapt their playing style just to try and grind out results. And he done that. A few sort of dramatic late wins, one away at Bristol City, one away at Cardiff, a pretty gritty win against Huddersfield, and that's kind of saved his job. Then we went to Ipswich, of course, which I could say a swear word there, but I didn't. And yeah, we managed to get a 2-2 draw away from home to maintain our pretty good record against them, 14 years unbeaten, given their sort of season. I think they thought it was their time to win, and they didn't. So that kind of bought him a little bit more time as well. And since he's got Josh Sargent back, who was injured pretty much from early August right through till sort of the Christmas period, yeah, our form's kind of turned for the better. He's probably one of the best strikers in terms of clinical edge in the Championship. He knows where the back of the net is, and having him back for the system and what they're trying to do has been pretty big, and kind of the results, I'd say, have reflected his impact on this team.
I mean, you just mentioned system. What sort of system are you playing at the moment? Because we've switched to 4 at the back when we were struggling up at Preston half time. We just switched it to 4 at the back, and we've stuck with that. Apart from the cup game last what night was it? That cup game that Friday night. Last Friday night. All our games are all over the place. I keep forgetting what day we're playing. So we've got 4 at the back now. What's your system that you're playing?
Yeah, I'd say it's adapted again. At the start of the season, it was very much a 4-2-3-1 system. Can become quite fluid at times and sort of reverts to a 4-4-2 at times. But then kind of in this period, I'd say where David Wagner was under a lot of pressure, he started to sort of lose his head a bit, and we went to a 5 at the back against Southampton just to try and grind out a 1-1 draw at home. I think we had like basically one shot on target all game scored, and Southampton battered us and probably should have won about 5 or 6-1, but somehow we kept them out. But sort of since Sargent's return, I'd say he's gone back to kind of what his natural football philosophy is, and that's kind of a counter press inside that plays 4-2-3-1. We're happy to let opposition teams have the ball, and then we just pick you off, hit you on the counter. And when you've got John Rowe, who unfortunately will be missing on Saturday, Borja Sainz, our other winger on the other side, and Josh Sargent, who knows where the back of the net is up front, it's a pretty good system to be able to win games. It's typically quite tight games. We don't really tend to batter teams. It's more kind of a 1-0 or 2-1 kind of result. So
you think this weekend is going to be quite close then, do you, with both teams with their both styles of play?
Yeah, I could see it being a pretty close encounter on Saturday. I think from what I've seen of Coventry, which has been a pretty good from the sort of stuff I've seen in recent weeks. I sort of watched a bit of your game against Leicester and was very impressed. One of the people I work with is a Coventry fan, so I get quite regular insight, I'd say, on Coventry. I think he's expecting a close game with a few goals on Saturday. Norwich have defensively been a lot better, probably ever since kind of early December. I think we've only sort of shipped around 11 goals in about 13 games, so it's definitely more of a solid unit. But as I say, when you get one chance, it's all about taking it. And when you've got Josh Sargent and John Rowe and Borja Sainz, Gabriel Sara out there, you probably bank on one of them finding the back of the net.
And what's made it more solid at the back now? Then what's made it a lot better for you?
Yeah, I'd say, well, David Wagner said himself that he kind of brought all the defenders into what he calls his learning zone and kind of spoke about what they need to do better as a unit. And sort of communication, I'd say, amongst the back four, and kind of hasn't really been there at times this season. There's been a lot of chopping and changing of who maybe plays left back. Sam McCallum, of course, formerly of Coventry. He's sort of played some games this season. Then Dimitris Yanoulis, who's a Greek left back, he's come in for other games. And I'd say there wasn't really kind of a stability, I'd say, around the defence. I'd say, yeah, ever since early December, he's kind of stuck with the same back four, barring any injuries. And that's kind of helped, I'd say, moving forwards. And they feel like a more sturdy base to build off. And Norwich aren't really leaking the levels of goals they were when they lost, say, 6-2 at Plymouth back in September.
And I mean, when we played each other at the CBS early on in the season, I mean, it was another tight contest between the two teams. I mean, are you better than that now?
Yeah, I'd say we are. I think it's a funny one because at the start of the season, I'd say we're still better than we are now, but we're kind of slowly starting to get back to our best. I'd say that spell where we came to the CBS, I think we'd lost 4 straight games. David Wagner under increasing pressure, pretty negative style of football, which wasn't great to watch. And it felt like we were trying to hold out for the 1-0 win. Of course, sat back, and Ben Gibson helped you guys get a point that day, and probably a more than merited one. You probably deserve to win. So it feels like this team now, particularly at home as well, I think the Carrow Road factor is massive. We're pretty good at home. Carrow Road as a stadium has always been noisy when the team's playing well, and say now the tide's maybe turned a little bit, and the football's been slightly better. I'd say a few fans are back on board, so could see it being a good atmosphere on Saturday, and say the home factor is certainly going to help in what will be a close game between us.
You say it's going to be a good atmosphere. Have you still got that drummer stands on the scaffolding by the scoreboard?
No, that was a one-off, never to be repeated ever since. Yeah, we do still have the drummer, but he now stands in amongst the home fans, sort of the noisier section, which is known as the Barclay. I think that particular day they just selected some random bloke on the street and said, "Come and drum for us on this sort of tarpaulin stand they'd built underneath our big screen." And yeah, safe to say it didn't go down very well on any social media or any sort of feedback that the club got post-match.
I was going to say you couldn't really see much of the game because there was a big thick post. Is it the scoreboard post was in front of him? I think. Yeah, I don't think you could hardly see any of the game anyway. But do you think that that Liverpool game last weekend? Do you think that's might have taken a toll on the team?
Probably not. If I'm being honest, it was quite a rotated squad. Liverpool, Anfield only lost. I think their last defeat was against Leeds in October 2022. So that kind of shows you the test we were up against. Jurgen Klopp, of course, announcing his departure a couple of days before we went there. He was obviously scared of Norwich, and it worked. They managed to get the win. But yeah, I think given the form, and it's Liverpool, they started Gakpo and Jota. They brought Van Dijk off the bench, Robertson off the bench, Trent Alexander-Arnold off the bench. I could probably go on. Yeah, any side that goes there, irrespective of whether you're a Premier League side, a top Premier League side, or a Championship club as we are, is going to struggle. So we kind of expected it and kind of brushed it off pretty quick and focused pretty much all our attention back on this huge game on Saturday.
I mean, you got two great goals. Well, one of them was a great goal. The other one was a lovely corner, wasn't it? And a flick on. I mean, it's come off his back, but you could tell he went to flick it off his head. But I mean, that sort of move. Are we expecting that sort of set piece this weekend? Because we hate them.
Yeah, set pieces. I'd say we've got a set piece coach who's kind of worked his magic. I'd say this season we've never been a club that's been particularly good at scoring set pieces, and we conceded quite a lot of them back in sort of down the years. But this season, it's felt like defensively we're much better at dealing with them, and from an attacking perspective, we're quite creative. There's been a few this season where it's kind of been short and then whipped in the box, or some that have gone to the edge of the box to allow someone to shoot. And yeah, I'd say those kind of routines that are quite familiar now with this Norwich City side. So certainly something to watch out for on Saturday.
Yeah. Now, Claudio, you've got some facts and figures for us.
Yeah, we've played Norwich 127 times, and we've beaten them 54 times, which is a bit of a surprise, actually, even to me. We've only lost them 37 times. I mean, during the 70s and 80s, we actually only lost them twice, and it was weird because I think when we used to play them at home, them, Southampton, Palace, and Luton, you always felt like you could win, but away from home, we'd always lose to these teams. We weren't particularly great. But in recent years, it hasn't been good at all. Only won twice since 1999 at Carrow Road. So so we've drawn 4 and lost the other 6 out of those games. So it's going to be a tough old game again. I just think recent years, obviously, they've had a decent ownership with a fantastic cook, where we had previous owners who were just cooking the books, weren't they? So, so I just think you can see how the fortunes have changed basically in the last 20 years between the two clubs, because they've been up and down and parachute payments and all the rest of it. And, we were skint, weren't we, basically?
Skint.
But it'd be interesting Saturday.
Adam, now, Norwich have been in a situation where we are, you're going up and down, but where we are at the moment, lost the playoff final last season. I mean, if we got there again this season, is there any advice you give us fans? Because we got a little bit upset when we didn't go up.
Yeah, to be fair, playoffs haven't usually been a good route to promotion for Norwich. Just the one in recent. Well, they lost to Birmingham in 2002 in Wales, the Cardiff Millennium Stadium. Did of course beat Middlesbrough in 2015 to get there. I think it was probably the way we won the semi-final. We beat Ipswich over 2 legs, which of course, given the rivalry there, maybe you need a Midlands club to beat in the semis. That might give you the little boost you need to then get to the final with going into a little bit more confidence. That tends to be the key for us. But yeah, we've kind of come almost acclimatized to winning the title, I'd say, up until last season. So it's kind of been a difficult step back down to earth to maybe where we more belong in terms of a mid-table championship club, if you kind of base us on history and club size, I suppose.
I mean, if you win on Saturday, you could go above us. I mean, do you think you can sneak in there?
I think we keep all our main starters fit. I think, as is the case for teams that aren't really Southampton, Leeds, Leicester, if you lose key players to injury, the kind of drop off in quality from the players you've got in reserve is quite big. And I'd say that probably been our major issue at times this season. If we haven't had John Rowe fit, or we haven't had Josh Sargent fit, or we haven't had Gabriel Sara fit, the drop off in terms of quality from the players that can come in and deputise for them is quite vast. So I think if we can keep everyone fit, I'd back us to definitely get in the top 6. I think in terms of squad quality, we're probably one of the better ones in the league. But the players in reserve don't quite match that. So I think it's going to come down to fitness and who's available, and whether David Wagner can sort of continue this positive run of form, because his whole management career has been very streaky in terms of they go through really good patches of form and then very poor runs of form. And if we hit a really bad sort of rut in the road, I could see it getting pretty nasty again and we finish sort of mid-table. Or if he continues this really positive upward trajectory in terms of form, then we could easily sneak in.
Yeah. Now listen, we do spot the ball. I haven't asked you yet, so because I'm going to get you to have a guess. You could win a prize here now, Adam. All right, you could win a prize, and you can show your prize on your next podcast, right, or on your next live stream. So, where's the ball? Have a go.
Go with 21.
21. Okay. Now listen, we've also got this game. Guess the Crest. Now, if anyone's commenting, don't give us the answers. Just tell us how many you think you got right. Guess the Crest. Now, I'm hoping you'll get 3 of these.
Maystone's left.
No, don't tell us.
Oh,
don't tell us the answers. Just tell us how many you think you got right.
Oh, okay. I'll go with 2.
2. Okay. Right, 2. Okay, right. Let's get scores, and we'll give you the answers to the old Guess the Crest. So, Claudia, we'll come to you first. Give us a score, please.
I think we'll draw 1-1.
1-1. You always go 1-1. Oh, every single week you go 1-1. It is I've got it written down here in my book. What, every week, 1-1 all the time. Vicky?
I was going to go 1-1 as well. I don't normally, so I'm allowed to.
Rich?
I'm bored of draws, so I'm going 2-1 City.
2-1 City. Okay. And Adam?
2-1 Norwich, home win. I fancy us, given kind of the home form factor.
2-1. Okay. I'm going to go 1-0 to us. I'm going to go 1-0. I think Robins will hold it out till half time, 0-0, and then we go for the one goal. Like you said, your defence is starting to look a bit tasty now, isn't it, Adam?
It is, yeah, it is. So, yeah, so it's probably going to be one of them where you get one chance and you probably have to take it.
Yeah, yeah. Now, listen, let's have a look at these Guess the Crest then. So, Guess the Crest, we had Claudio said he's got maybe 3. Adam says he's got 2. Rich says he's got 1. Vicky's got 2. Right, are you ready? Here are the answers. So there you go. Maidstone on the left, Sheffield Wednesday in the middle, and Plymouth Argyle.
As if I didn't get Sheffield Wednesday.
It's an old badge. It's an old badge. I was trying to fool everyone with an old badge. So yeah, and the Plymouth Argyle is from 1999, I think it was. If I remember looking at it on the TV, on the monitor. So yeah, there's your 3 teams. So we've played Sheffield Wednesday. We're going to play them twice in the FA Cup. We've got Mansfield if we get past Sheffield Wednesday. And our next away game after Norwich is Plymouth Argyle. There you go. There you have it. So, right. Well, thank you very much, Adam. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for taking the time. I know you're a busy man.
No worries at all. Thanks for having me on the show. I appreciate it.
Brilliant. And good luck for the rest of the season, but not this Saturday.
Yeah, same for you guys. Yeah, thanks for having me on. And yeah, hopefully, of course, a good game on Saturday.
We'll see you in the playoff final.
That'll be good. That'll be good. Yeah, as long as you can guarantee us the win, that would be nice.
You take care, mate. Thank you so much.
You. See you later.
Cheers. Ta-da.
Cheers.
Brilliant stuff. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, he's a good lad. He is a good lad. Right, let's get some more comments coming in. And we're talking a little bit about fans. Fans has gone. Oh, no. Robin Fletcher says, talk reminds me of Child Solvet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does he, Rich? Does he?
No. No. Thankfully, no.
Now, I will let you into a secret here. That's Robin's favourite player. It is. It's Robin's favourite player, honest. Seriously, he always talks about him. Every time I see him, he always talks about him. So there you go. Ralph Wiggins says, Torp is an excellent signing.
Definitely.
Victoria, he is a good signing, isn't he?
Yeah. Added a bit more quality in midfield, isn't it? That's great, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Stephen Price comes on all the way from Newport in Wales. Good evening, Steve. He comes on the show. Evening, Miles. A bit lethargic last night. I think he meant Tuesday night. Just hoping for a point on Saturday. Whatever the result, will still be very much in the playoff. Yeah, definitely. So good evening, Steve. Are you coming, Steve? Because I know your lads at university in Norwich. Let us know if you are coming. Let's get some more comments coming in here. Have we had this one? Would like to see Fabio play now, even try him on the wing. His pace will cause defence a lot of trouble. Claudio, it would if he was on the wing. It would cause some trouble, wouldn't it?
I think anywhere up front it'd cause trouble with that sort of pace. When you put him on as, I don't know. I mean, at the minute we are lacking pace, proper, real pace up front. I think, and all the really good teams have got somebody up front who can really shift, and I think we need something like that.
Yeah, definitely. Wayne Vaughan's come in. He says the forwards aren't scoring enough, so why not give him a go? Yeah. Someone's just put up here. Where is it? I've lost it. Oh, So we've signed someone. Oh, this is from Harrison Watts. So we've signed someone, but we have loaned him back out for the remainder of the season, apparently.
We're reading this now. It's the rumours are Ephraim Mason-Clark from Peterborough.
Wow. I've seen that rumour earlier.
They've also just said the lights are on at the CBS as well, so who knows, pinch of salt and all that.
Callum Wilson. Rich. Who would you like to see come in now at this time of night?
Oh, God. There's a myriad. There's so many rumours and so much rubbish. I just want to improve the squad depth. Every team in this league, and we all know it, you're all 1 or 2 injuries away from potentially arse falling out your season. Yeah. So it's all well and good saying, well, Haji Wright gets injured for 6 weeks, Casey Palmer can go and play left wing. Well, he can't. So if you have a winger who can play either side, fine, sign him. That'll do me. Just a little bit of cover, give a bit of squad depth. I know it's hard to get quality because they're not going to start, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But I just would like a little bit of extra depth, just covering the shaky positions. Because obviously you've lost Sheaf now, and if you're going to play Latibodier, then you're only down to 3 centre-halves.
Yeah.
If Latibodier is not the way you're going to go, then that's fine. But you need to figure out whether it is going to be Allen and Eccles or Torp and Eccles or Torp and whoever, or what your best 2 are for the middle of the park.
Who would you choose in the middle? Would you, if Sheaf is out for a long time, would you have Eccles with Torp, or would you have Allen with Torp?
100% it's got to be Eccles and Torp.
Yeah. Yeah. The only problem with that is at Sheffield last week, I was confused who was who when their back was to us because they look exactly the same. One's got number 28 on his shirt and the other one's got 29. And from a distance, the 29 looks like a 28. Yeah. So they should have given him another number. What they're doing to us, man. Seriously.
I mean, they're both pros, and one of them will know when to sit and one of them will know when to go. And just once again, it's just getting minutes between them, getting them both playing together and making it work.
Yeah. I'm sure it'll come good. Craig Robinson's come on. I thought I did share this on your forum, Craig. Sorry if I didn't. I'll share your chat, guys and girls. We're expecting to see it on their group. I thought I did share it earlier. Oh, sorry. You have to remind me which one it is. There's so many different COV forums now. It's really hard to pick out which one to get your stream on. Danny Drury. Good evening, Danny. Hope you're well, mate. Hope your partner's well, supporting Mansfield. He goes to watch Mansfield. He does. He goes and watch Mansfield, bless him. Now, we'll come to more comments before the end of the show, but Danny wants us to talk about Carl McFadzine. I've got a video of Carl McFadzine. It's been shared to me today by Rich Overson, bless him. I've got 2 videos. I'll show you these. Then I'll show you some. We'll have a little chat while we're chatting. I'll show you some pictures as we're chatting. So first of all, I love this one. This was sent to a little boy last year.
Hey, Andrew. It's only Kyle McFadden here, mate. I heard that people have been laughing at you at school for supporting Coventry. You know why they're laughing at you, mate? Because you support one of the best teams in the world. Just ignore them and laugh at them back. They're just jealous of you, mate. So what I'm going to do for you anyway, I'm going to get you one of my shirts and sign it to you. I'll sort it out with Richard, one of my friends, and we'll sort it out and get it to you. So keep your head up, mate, and don't listen to him. All right? Up Coventry. Come on, boys. Big win tomorrow. Come on.
I love the way he's nearly swearing. That's just fantastic. And then I got this one. I think they've had a few beers there, guys. Now, go on. Everyone talk. We'll come to you first, Vic. Memories of big fads. I'll put pictures up while you're talking. So come on, give us some memories of big fads.
I think one of the first ones that comes to mind is that it's been on social media a lot today, hasn't it? Of when he left all those defenders, all the strikers on the floor and then just walked off, or they were getting treatment, because that's up the end. I sit at the CBS, so I that was right in front of me, so that's always a good memory. I think the goal away at Blackpool, that's a memory. And I just think he's been like an integral part of our growth in recent seasons, hasn't he? Like where we were when he came into where he's left us, he's been a massive part of that. Always gives 100%. It's sad because you can understand why he'd want to go to get some more regular football. He's not going to be starting regularly for us anymore. So I think fair play that the club have let him just they've obviously mutually ended the contract, so we can do that. This is really sad because I think he's sort of quite an iconic figure from like our recent success. And so
Yeah,
sad about it, really.
yeah, he's been there. He got us to where we are.
Yeah.
You know, he's part of that winning team, part of the morale building in the club. He's a big character, which we're going to lose in the changing rooms. Rich,
in the defence as well, that has been like tutoring like the young defenders. I mean, we saw how people like McNally and Doyle came on, and Hyam, all of those that grew under his tutelage. So we've lost that as well, which is a shame.
Yeah, definitely. And Rich, your thoughts on Kyle?
Yeah, I'd say he's been a bit of a shaky start when he first came, but he's an old-fashioned centre half, but he also knows the dark arts of being a centre half. For a big guy, a big northern boy, he knows when to go down and how to go down. Yeah, the job he did last season, getting the likes of Doyle through the season and bringing him on and making the centre half he was, can't be underestimated.
Yeah.
And Claudio?
Interesting, because when we first went back into the Championship, it looked like it was going to be a disaster because the amount of penalties that we were giving away and fouls, and he slowly changed his game and improved massively. I mean, for me, the return to CBS, the goal against Forest, was just fantastic. Also, the brilliantly disguised handball at Luton, which was superb as well. Like Vicky said, when he took out their forward line from that, actually there were 4 defenders, I think, wasn't it? I don't know what it was, but he took 4 of their players out and just walked away. But I mean, we've seen him several times at the tavern and other places being interviewed, and he's a really softly spoken guy with quite a squeaky voice. It's not what you expect at all. You thought it'd be something big and brash when he'd be giving an interview, and he's just a nice bloke. But on the pitch, what a warrior! You know, if that's what you want in your team. I think we've got one now with Bobby Thomas, very similar. You know, these are the sort of players you want. He's been great for us, and wish him all the best. I will say, and I've posted this on social media, I wonder what our fan base, how they would react if we'd have signed a 36-year-old who'd been sat on the bench all season in this window. It's strange, isn't it? We're all wishing him well, saying he's been great, you know, and it'd be interesting if it was the other way around.
Some of the Blackpool fans are questioning. I've been on some of their forums. Some of them are questioning that. So it's
but it's like you were saying, Victoria. You were saying how he helped Dom Hyam. Dom Hyam became the player he is because he was playing next to him. McNally become a very, very good defender. Doyle, same again. He learnt from him, and you could see how comfortable they were last season when he was with those 2 players, in the middle of those 2 players. He kept it calm. He kept them calm. He was guiding them. You could see him, what he was doing, teaching them and everything else. And I just want to say he was the best. I think he's the best player I've interviewed. And I think he was with Doyle, wasn't he? I'm sure he was with Doyle that night. And
I think it was McNally. I think it was him and McNally.
Was it McNally, wasn't it? Yeah, sorry, McNally. He was with McNally. And we said, what was it like, you know, training with Fads? And he said how, you know, he coaches them, he teaches them, and they're learning all the time. They're learning the game. And, you know, he's going to Blackburn. He's going to be with Dom Hyam. Hopefully them 2 will probably then guide the younger players through at Blackburn to steady the ship at Blackburn for them. And as I say, he will never, ever forgive me for glassing him up when he was in Spain and he had a boot around his leg, because I thought it was Matty Godden, because Matty Godden was injured. He had a boot on, but it weren't. It was Fads. He come out of changing rooms at the training ground in Spain, and he's never, ever let me forget that. But do you know what? Every time I see him, I'm like, oh, here he comes, because he's huge. He's such a presence. But when you meet him out, you know, we used to meet him out having a couple of drinks with him. He used to come and sit with me and Cheryl, my wife, and he would have a chat with her. You know, he would talk to her, not just to me. He would talk to both of us, and he would make an effort to talk to Cheryl. And his first words when he first met her was, "He stitched me up, he did," and I'll never forget it. You know what I mean? He will never forget it. And it's like, but he was the best person to interview. His stories and everything was just fantastic, wasn't it? And he was great with the fans. He was brilliant with the fans, weren't he, Rich?
Yeah, we've all seen the clip of him getting the bus back from the ground back to Sky Blue Tavern, and yeah, just don't care. He's as he just said, he's just a normal guy who just happens to play football.
Yeah, he loves it. Loves it. I've got some...
The club, isn't it? It's the sort of player you need in a club, that it works well between the fans and the player. That sort of honest professional that fans can respect, and he respects the fans. It's an integral part of the club, really.
And he loved his song as well, didn't he? He absolutely loved his song.
Yeah,
he did. Some players would have been a bit embarrassed by it. He loved it.
Yeah, Sarah posted the video on Twitter that she got at Chef Wednesday when he was warming up, and he was giving 4,000 people a round of applause as they're dogging him. So,
Craig Robinson's come on and says, Fad's getting a lift back on the coach, like you just said there, Rich, with the fans when he got left behind, and just singing on board. I've seen that clip so many times. It's just absolutely fantastic. I've got some stats actually. Where are they? Here you go. So 171 appearances in all competitions, 125 CCFC championship appearances, 37 yellow cards, 3 reds and 8 goals. Instrumental to the club's rise, a model professional and captain, leader and legend. Now, do you think we'll see him one day at the Legends Day? Do you reckon, Claudio?
I think so. Well, yeah, definitely. He, he'd definitely be there. I think his whole career turned for us. I think after that, was it Rotherham where he got sent off away?
Oh, yeah,
it was absolutely he had a terrible game, didn't he? And he come back stronger after that.
Yeah,
completely changed the way. I don't know. He just came back stronger. It just shows how strong he was mentally. Basically, I think it's been fantastic for us. Let's hope he doesn't do so well at Blackburn.
Rich, how do you think the changing room's going to cope without his personality in there? I mean, I know they've still got Ben Wilson in there and things like that. He's got a personality, and he's probably the maddest person I've ever interviewed in all my life, to be honest with you, and he's a great guy. But I mean, how do you think the changing room's going to cope without that personality in there?
Well, so it's hard, isn't it? Because you never know the dynamic of a changing room. But I think there is enough in there now with the likes of Callum. You've got Milan coming in. Obviously, when you've had 11 new players coming over the end of the season, it is difficult for any changing room to get together. And for those voices, I mean, I was listening to someone today saying how confident they think Torp sounds. So I think as soon as he gets his feet under the table and he's getting on with the lads and everything, I think they've might seem quite now. I think he might be another one that comes forward.
Yeah. And Vicky, personality wise.
Yeah, I mean, I think Richard's right, isn't there? There's quite a lot of players there with some personality. It's obviously going to be a big miss. And I suppose that the players will probably feel a degree the same that the fans do, that it's sad that he's had to move on for the better of his career, rather than just sitting on the bench here. Because unfortunately, he was never going to get a lot of games for us the way we're playing now. He's never going to get a lot of football. So I guess that there'll be some sadness between the players as well. But they're all professionals, aren't they? And I think there's enough characters to move on from that.
Yeah, and I mean, Claudio, do you think he went to Blackburn because Hyam was there? Do you reckon?
Possibly. I mean, from what I gather, he had a chat with Robbins, didn't he? And he basically said, the way things are going, you're not going to get much pitch time. So I think he just put the feelers out, and they came in for him. He's gone up to stay with Dom, hasn't he? He's moved in with him apparently.
Really?
So that's going to be interesting.
They are good. They are good mates. They are good mates. And if there's any Blackburn fans watching, when we went out there and we went to see them train, we went off for a walk. Ken and I went off for a little walk down the harbour, and Kelly and Fads were having a cup of coffee in this cafe. They invited us in to have a coffee with them, and they goes, "Oh, come and have a coffee. Hyam will be here in a minute," because Blackburn were out there, Huddersfield were out there at the same training pitch, and they invited us over. So they are really good mates. So it wouldn't surprise me if he has gone to stay with Dom. So now listen, we are getting towards the end of the show. I've got so many comments to get through here. Craig Robinson's come up. If Bidwell is the Terminator, then Fads must be Rambo. I wonder if that's what their fancy dress was at their party, because they had a party, didn't they? But Wayne Vaughan says Mo Cognac was like that, Claudio. I think he was talking about when you were just talking about Fads. Yeah. Big bloke, massive head, absolute Cov legend. We owe him lots. That's from Steve Price. Catty Cads come on, says Norwich 1, Sky Blues 4. Kimberly Owen, good evening, Kim. Sad he is gone. That's to old Fads, sad that he's gone. Paul Cuttyford, Tyler Walker, 68 appearances, 10 goals. Sims, 29 appearances, 4 goals. Martin Waghorn, 38 appearances, 2 goals. Hadji Wright, 26 appearances, 8 goals. That's 238 appearances and only 34 goals. Why do we keep buying bad strikers? Well, listen, you weren't at Norwich last season when we were in the pub and the team news come out and Tyler Walker was starting. It was like that. So yeah, I think they're better than Tyler Walker, so don't worry about it. Jason Dean Ostofili has come on. Thank the gods for Claudio Cardellino. There you go. You got
my greatest fan, I think.
Very good. Now we are coming to the end. Now we are coming to the end of the show. I'm sorry if I haven't got to everybody's comments. I don't think I've mentioned David. David Granahan has come on here. Any news on how long Sheaf will be out? Torp is going to be dangerous once he settles in. Yeah, I think we don't really know, but it's like you said, Rich. Someone was saying it popped. His hamstring popped. So what's it? It's about 6 weeks, isn't it? It depends how bad it is, doesn't it?
Yeah, it depends on what the grade of the tear is.
Yeah. So if you don't need a scan, I think he'll be all right, won't he? So
he had one yesterday or today.
Did he?
I think it's today.
Yeah, today. Any signings? Any more signings before we go off air?
Still just the same. Still just the same rumour.
Okay. Thank you, producer in the background. So let's go. So we got the statue appeal. Don't forget, if you haven't donated yet, please do. Only a £5 fiver. That's like 2 lottery tickets on the Euro Millions, or it's not even a pint of beer at the football. So send it over to Sky Blue in the community for the George and John statue, or you go on the GoFundMe page. You'll see the link on our YouTube channel, so you can get that as well. Craig Robinson's come on. He says, "Where's the spider?" He's gone. The spider's gone. He was massive. I've been in here a couple of nights this week. He's gone. He's not. Yeah, Fads has took him with him. So, Sky Blue Hero, listening from New Zealand. Great chat. I think Cov will win 3-1. Welcome. Hello. That's great to have you on board, listening New Zealand. If you want to come on at some time, get in touch with us, Sky Blue Hero. You're more than welcome. Just talking about that, if anyone does want to come on the channel, like Rich's debut tonight, then please get in touch. Emails going across the bottom of the screen. Now next Thursday, we have got Mark Murphy coming on all the way from Melbourne, Australia. Next Thursday. So look out for that one. Cov City fan, living out in Australia, coming on here. He said it'd be about 6:30 in the morning over there. So, because they have different time zones in Australia, don't they? Like America.
I used to go to school at Mark Murphy. It'd be funny if it's the same one.
Did you? Well, he's been out there 30 years, Victoria.
Well, that'll probably be about right if he left after we left school.
33 years, sorry. I'm just
junior school I went to. So it'd be funny if it's the same lad.
He's been in Australia 33 years. That's what he said. So there you go. There you have it. Now, there is another thing I just want to mention. Claudio, guess the gate.
Oh, yeah. So the attendance of the night was 22,724. And
22,724, yeah.
And at 22,459, Reece Small, it was the nearest.
Wow. Oh. Brilliant.
And he beat somebody by 3.
No. Who did he beat?
Wayne Vaughan.
Wow. That's unbelievable.
I think Mark Harrington as well. They both put the same figures down.
Blooming. Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty close. And well, congratulations to Reece. Congratulations. We'll get a mug off to you, mate. So you win a Sky Blue Fans TV mug. Anne Joyner comes on. Greetings from sunny London. Oh, say that, Claudio.
Llandudno.
That's the one. It's a load of letters all muddled up together if they're in Wales. Yeah. I can't speak Welsh. No word. Steve Price says, great show. Fingers crossed for Saturday. We've all got our fingers crossed for Saturday. Now, there is one thing I want to advertise. We went to the pantomime at Christmas for Friday's quid pantomime of Frozen. Yeah. So, here you go. Friday's two-tone night. So, Friday the 2nd, that's tomorrow, 6 p.m. till 8 at the Two-Tone Village. It says there, please come down, all young people for under 18s and families who want a safe and secure place packed with entertainment and educations, such as music artists, barbers, makeup artists, themes you can choose. I'm struggling to read because it's very small. Choose on CV writing as well, prizes and more. First Friday of the month on Ball Hill at the Two-Tone Village. So that's going to be every Friday. It's going to cost you £2 to get in. So if you want to go along, please do. The Two-Tone Village, if you haven't been there yet, it's absolutely fantastic. It's brilliant. So head down there. If you're under 18, you want something to do tomorrow night, head down to the Two-Tone Village on Ball Hill, and Fridays they will be doing an evening for all you under 18s. That should be a cracking night. But I'm off to Ipswich, getting ready for Norwich. So,
if you want something for the kids to do tomorrow, they can go and watch the City Youth team for £1 in the FA Cup.
Oh, tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
Oh. There you go.
£5 adults, £1 for kids.
Is that at the CBS?
It is at the CBS. We'll be there.
Wow, fantastic. So there you go. There you are. I didn't know that was on, actually. Well done. Thank you. Well done, Rich. I love it.
Yeah, we went to the last couple of rounds. They're playing really well.
Brilliant. Hold on. Gone all funny. I've gone all funny. Where have I gone?
we can still hear you.
The spider's got it.
The
spider's got me. Unbelievable. Steve just said off frozen. Now I've got my heater on, Steve. I'm not frozen. I don't know. Right, so that's it then. We've well, hold on. No. Rumours. F1 Mason Clark rumours. Anything on that, Rich?
Nothing on that.
Nothing more. We've done a bit of homework on him. He's 24, nearly 25, which is, bear in mind, they said that Torp's older than they've been looking at, which staggered me, to be honest. So, obviously, if he's the right price, I'm amazed we signed him and then loaned him back. It seems not the sort of thing we do if he's that kind of age. If he was 19, maybe, but not 24.
Yeah. Okay. So that's that one then. That's out the window. What's this one? What do you have to say about the loan back clause for Mason Clark?
That's
the
just
one
mentioned,
The same one.
That's the one you're just talking about, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Right. Spot the ball. Oh, I forgot to spot the ball, guys. Are you ready? Spot the ball. Here we go then. Let's get the answers in. So, Claudio, you said number 14. Rich, you said 13. Adam said 21. Vicky said 24. Sarah said 15. Are you ready for the answer, everybody? 13.
Hey.
Rich.
Well done, Rich.
I'm
Yeah,
assuming
he won.
that's the header for the goal, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I thought
Yes.
so.
Yes, it is. There you go. So there you have it. Blimey. I'm still off screen here, aren't I? What's going on?
You've been censored.
I have.
You're not naked, are you?
Yeah, it's too hot in here. I don't know what's happened there. Blind. I've got great signal.
Steady.
Sky Blue OnlyFans TV, this is.
Yeah. Hey, we might earn some money then.
Hey. Is that to keep you
Paul's
censored, though?
Yeah. Paul's just gone, where are you, Miles? I'm here. I don't know what's going on. My camera's on. What
You're not
on
on the
earth?
CBS because the lights are on there.
Unplug it. Put the mic
Yeah,
in again.
exactly. Who was it? Who was it? The chap off the radio. The one who does the news and that on the radio, and he's on Midlands Today. Did all the politics sort of thing on BBC CWR. He put on Twitter earlier. I'm surprised none of us are up at the training ground doing a live stream.
Gilbert. That's Mr. Gilbert.
That's it. Simon Gilbert.
Simon
Yeah.
Gilbert.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. Oh, he says Paul's coming. He says gremlins again. Yeah, I think it's the spider eating through the cable. To be honest with you, he's probably coming to get me. Definitely.
You need to be worried about what ate the spider.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it will. Mate, hey, yeah. Oh, never
Is
know.
there a
dude.
song
Don't
about
know
that?
what's-
Yeah.
Yeah, there is. There is. Listen, thank you very much for coming on tonight, Rich. Have you enjoyed yourself?
Yeah, loved it. Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, we'll have you on again.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and what about your other half?
You don't want the pair of us together. That'd be a nightmare.
You going to come on? You both going to come on?
I'll be on. I like being the roving reporter on Twitter and.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that. That's fun. Happy days. That's brilliant. Vic, all good? You going to Norwich?
No, unfortunately not. So
No.
Missing this one, unfortunately.
And what about you, Rich? Are you going? You both going?
No, we've got family stuff this weekend, so we're having to sadly miss this one.
Yeah.
Off to Plymouth, though.
Yeah, I got Plymouth tickets today, so.
Oof, good luck with that one. Oh, I can't do that anymore. That's too much for me.
Oh,
I'll be dead.
The secret is to book the hotel about 3 months ago, and then you kind of stuck having to do it. We got time off work, so it's all done.
Yeah, I did book a hotel because we were gonna go for 4 days, and I did book a hotel, but then the hotel said they wouldn't allow our dogs, so we said right, we're not going now. Then I booked it at the beginning of the season as well, so I got it really cheap, but they wouldn't allow our dogs.
Yeah, we've not paid too much. I did chat to someone today who said the hotels down there are trying to charge north of £100 a night now for a Tuesday. I know it's Valentine's Day and all that, but
yeah. So unfortunately, but you'll have a good night. Have you ever been to Plymouth?
No, I've not been to Home Park. No.
Well, I'll tell you a story about Home Park. The main stand on the left-hand side, when they were rebuilding the ground, the other season they've rebuilt it, but they had to keep the structure in place because it's a listed building.
Mm.
So when you go, you'll see it's all old, but they've rebuilt it. But they've had to keep all the old structure because it's a listed building.
Is he going to give me Chef Wednesday? Is he going to give me Hillsborough vibes again?
It's better than Hillsborough. It's in the middle of a park. It's a bit of a walk from town, but it's in the middle of a park, and it's a good atmosphere. You'll enjoy it.
Good, looking forward to
it.
And
the pasties are good. Pasties are good.
That'll do for me then.
Oh, I love a pasty.
Claudio? Oh, pasties are really good. Wait, are you stopping in the harbour?
Who,
Can't
me?
remember. I say it's been months since we booked it. Can't remember.
No. Okay. Well, if you get down to the harbour, there's a gin distillery there.
Oh God, don't say that.
Ooh.
Plymouth Gin. Yes, Plymouth Gin. Distillery is in the harbour, so you can't miss it.
We'll probably
And
just
the
fall in
pub's
the
all
harbour
there.
after instead.
Yeah, that's it. And Claudio, you're not going, are you?
No, I'll do a
No,
radio
it's
show in the
tomorrow.
morning, and I'll be watching it on the box.
Yeah. So
I've
you got
only
your
been there
breakfast
once.
show?
Yeah, I've only been there once. That's when we beat them in the cup. And we had, I think it was Dave Booth got sent off. We won 3-1.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was there that day as well, yeah.
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 It's a good old trip,
I've been
isn't it?
Yeah, I've been about 4 times. Are you going, Vic, to Plymouth?
No, unfortunately not.
No.
I mean,
It's a long
it's half term, and my wife's off from school, and she's going down to visit her mum.
How young is she?
And I said, oh, fancy going to Plymouth on Wednesday? And she went, why? Is that who you're playing?
That's what I'm going to do. Like,
Knows you too well.
Yeah, definitely.
Well,
Now, before we go, big show Sunday night. Gary Thompson is coming on. It's going to be a cracking show. Please spread the word, get the word out there, get everyone involved, get people ringing in, get people messaging in. If you've got a question for him, get your questions in. We'll ask as many questions as we can, and we'll get them up on the screen. We will try our very, very best. If you want to have a little chat with old Gary Thompson, then please tune in this Sunday, and you'll have a fantastic night. And Claudio's going to be hosting that one. We will be back again on Monday night. We're going to do a special on Monday for the Sheffield Wednesday game. I've got a new Sheffield Wednesday fan. Don't worry. It's not the fan we had on before. I've got a new Sheffield Wednesday fan. It's the guy who does all around the grounds. We were on his pod and his live stream outside Sheffield Wednesday last Friday. He's kindly agreed to come on Monday with us. So we're going to do the FA Cup show on the Monday night. So because we've got Gary Thompson on the Sunday, and Gary Thompson's going to be all night. So it's going to be fantastic. And that's it. So that's the end of the show. It's been a brilliant time. Absolutely loved it. Time's flowing. We've gone over by another 38 minutes. Well, even to do an hour, but there you go. Paul Clifford just says he's been to the Gin Museum down there. And Robin Fletcher says, could be worse, Miles. You could sound like a Dalek. There you go. Well, listen, thank you, Rich. Thanks for coming on. Thanks, Sarah, in the background, letting us know if there's any sign. And Victoria, have a good one.
And you take care.
All right, we'll see you soon. And Claudio, thank you, mate, for all your stats again. You've been absolutely brilliant as usual.
Thanks,
and you'll be back on Sunday. And don't forget Claudio's breakfast show, Saturday morning, 9 a.m. on BC Radio, online on your smart speaker. I'm on Friday night, 8 till 10, Saturday, 8 till 10. Dance classics for you, so tune in. I won't be there this week. It's a recording. So there you go.
I don't tell people that.
So there you go. Anyway, listen, have a good time. And I'll see you later on, everyone. So take care. Play up Sky Blues.
Play up Sky Blues.
Brilliant.
Sky Blue Fans TV. For the fans, by the fans.
No, no, no.